ago, Netflix created CentaurWorld, and it's one of the strangest slash most well done animated series I've seen in a long time. Pretends it's for kids, kind of is for kids, but not really for kids. But I feel like it's only fair that I rank them. So, who are the best characters? Who are the worst characters? What is the impression of Centaur World overall? So let's start from the very beginning, and that would be Horse. Horse as a protagonist. How is Horse as a protagonist? Well, starts off with a very clear motivation. Starts off with a clear goal. Starts off with a very interesting storyline where she's thrust into this world as a super serious character and must learn how to lighten up while also being stuck in a war story. So, Horse as a protagonist is excellent. There is a good sense of conflict. There is a good sense of interest. She does a really good job of setting the tone half the time. Is Horse one of the better characters in the series? Absolutely. But overall, what does she do? How does things go forward? Well, she does grow, she progresses. I have to say I like the initial design better than the design they end up with at the end. But still, really interesting storyline, really interesting way that they present it, and a lot of fun. So, no complaints about Horse. Oh my gosh, Zulius, the zebra. One of the weaker characters in the main bunch, has a really good sense of style, but a lot of the other ones, it does feel more shallow as compared to someone like Derpleton or Wamalink. Interestingly done, not one of the best. Ched, I feel like, fares better, although it does end up very much a one-beat character for most of the run. Still has a lot of fun, still has really great animation, still is very silly and lighthearted, and they just have this whole idea of just being, over the top, and that's good. That's what you want. You want that sort of thing in this idea, so no complaints about Chet. I think that they do a really good job with him, and it's not one that I think that a lot of people appreciate as much as we should, because they do a really good job. Wamalink. Wamalink is obviously the protective mother figure. Is that going to make them the best character? No. Are they a lot of fun? Absolutely. And I feel like starts off very nervous, starts off very scared, and then gets more independent, and then gets, learns how to let go a little bit. You see that conflict develop, you see that struggle go through, but always a throw line. Megan Hilty does a really good job on the singing, on the vocals, so really good character, really fun way of making it and animating it, but then also just really, really interesting and engaging in terms of the content as well. So, Derpleton. Is Derpleton the best? Absolutely. Why is Derpleton the best? He just is. Hilariously done, well written, funny, but then ends up being this really caring character, and he gets his little stabby baby, and it's just so cute, and you see his relationship with his parents, and so you understand him a lot more. It's just really well done. They did a really good job on Derpleton, and I think that there's I don't think anyone has any issues with her. I think that they do such a fun job in terms of how he is presented and animated and just voiced, pure cartoon in the best way. So, Glendale. Glendale was a character initially I hated, but then grew on me. I would put them right between Horse and Wamalink. Is Glendale a serious character? Not at all. Her tummy portal is funny. A bit one note in terms of I want to steal everything, but they kind of do it in a very tongue-in-cheek way where she's like, I steal so I can feel. It's funny. It's funny. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. It's just silly goodness, and I think that's sometimes what you need. So, of the main bunch, this is how I would position the 5 of them. Now, Ryder. Ryder is an interesting second protagonist. Not as interesting, doesn't have as much struggle, but smart enough. Does a really good job in terms of presenting the character and their struggles. Does a really good job of showing how hard they are working to get back to what they love. And just shows a high degree of care, a high degree of success, a high degree of love between them and Horse. So you can't really dock that. but at the same time, it does fall a little flat in the sense where it's not as developed as it could be. But Jessie Mueller's voice is beautiful, and to see her play off of Kimiko Glenn, who they were both in Waitress together, and to hear them play again, even if it's just in this silly cartoon show, it's a lot of fun, and you have to appreciate it, and they do a really good job. So, no complaints. Jebri, one stock character, like simple, stupid, silly character, also hilarious. Like, Jebri's always cold. That's the joke. But it's well done, and it's silly, and it comes up at the most silly times, and it's like running, it's probably one of the better running gags through the series. It's the equivalent of my cabbages guy, I would say, in Avatar. So, definitely one that I think gets overlooked, but it's still a lot of fun. We have Tail. I don't feel like they do much with Tail. Kind of is a character that's there when you need it, but doesn't come through often. Definitely one of the characters that I think most people would forget about most often, but still has its fun moments, still has his silly moments, and Paula Thompson's just great, like, as an actor. And so you hear him just do inflections on a tail. I'm not complaining. I think it's fun. Comfortable Doug. I think Comfortable Doug is hilarious. Not everyone does. His song is fun. His whole presence is fun. So, honestly, I'm never mad at Comfortable Doug. I think he's comfortable, and I think that's what matters. Glitter Cats. The Glitter Cats are fine. I don't really feel like there's anything about them that's extraordinary. They're foils when they need to be, but aren't used as thoroughly as they could be. I am noticing this is mostly season 1, so I don't know how much further this goes for a lot of them. But oh my gosh, what's the name of the Star Nose person? Oh my gosh. Oh, come on, brain, work. Judge Jacket? Judge Jacket. Yeah. Good character. I remember them. Obviously plays an important role in the series. You get a sense of who they are right away, and they stay that way consistently through the whole series. So, in terms of, like, the judges, I don't know... Are they called judges? Shamans. Sorry, the Shamans. In terms of the Shamans, I think they all kind of fit on the same realm, where they're serviceable. So, the First Aid Kit playing the 2 tree Shamans, they are fine. Oh my gosh, what was the Bubble Baby? Water Baby. Water Baby is also fine. The Whale Tar is also fine. They're all handled well. I just don't feel like they provide enough conflict to keep things going, but they don't provide enough conflict to stay in your head forever. It's a case of we show up to this thing, the problem's resolved fairly easily, and there's not much character beyond that. The one exception I feel is the Whale Tar. I can't remember exactly what her name is, but does a really good job on term of just having the song, presenting a horse with the choice to end her pain. I think that's interesting. They do a good job. Overall, I can't complain about the Shamans. They're all there for a reason. They all stick to their reason, and that's kind of it. So, I'm not particularly eloquent on this particular topic, but I feel like they make their point, they serve it, they do well. The Tiger Tar, I can't remember his name. I do remember he's voiced by Fred Armisen, who does a great job on him. I feel like between him and Zulius, it's a bit of a shallow challenge. Zulius being my least favorite character, his main antagonist, I can't imagine being that interesting for me. I don't think that that's quite what I'm going for here with this. I don't hate it, but I don't love the character. I don't love the conflict he creates, but it's fun enough still to keep it engaging. This show is excellent, so I don't think anyone does a bad job, except maybe Jessica. Just because she doesn't exist. She's just a joke character who only shows up that one time to be Sunfish Merguy? Sunfish Merguy. Sunfish Merguy is also kind of in the same boat, where I don't feel like they provide much, but they do an interesting challenge. They do an interesting, way of it. Overall, I feel like he does a really good job of presenting Wamawink with a love interest while also being just a silly take on a mermaid. So, creative, highly creative in its own way in terms of design. The song itself is fun. And overall, it's just a lovely little character. So, not one that I think anyone can get mad at. I do hate the Beartar character. I feel like it's kind of the one giant miss throughout this whole series because they just kind of fall back on tropes, which I'm not such a big fan of. If you've seen any of my America Song Contest videos, I feel like it's just whenever something relies on tropes, I'm not such a fan, especially when it's like a nerd trope. I don't like that. I feel like that's always kind of... It just feels more like you're punching down or you're making fun of this thing rather than reveling in the absurdity of it. So, yeah, not a big fan of the Beartar. I don't feel like they do a good job on it. The whole collector idea, I feel, has been done. So, I'll keep that how that is. The woman obviously plays a huge pivotal role later on. A little bit underdeveloped, but overall, well-paced, well done. They do a good job in terms of presenting the songs. Obviously, it's Leah Long, who just kills everything that she sings. But overall, one of the main things about the series I think sets it apart from everything else is the Nowhere King. The Nowhere King has to be not just one of the best visual designs for a villain I've ever seen, but has to be one of the more interesting villain complexes in the whole, in animation. I feel like they've taken this villain character and really fleshed him out and really done a good job on presenting the conflict and the interest behind it. So if you haven't got a chance to see this and you're interested at all in cartoons, especially well-done cartoons with good pacing, good music, and a great villain that develops slowly and, corrupts a world, Nowhere King is tops. I feel like it's probably one of the main reasons I still like this show, and it's one of the reasons I would probably rewatch it again because it's just so well done, so interesting, and just the way that they do it all is wonderful. So check it out if only for the Nowhere King, but everything else works too. And I'm curious to know, what am I correct on, what am I incorrect on? And until next time, I will see you there.
Thank you for watching. My name is Matti McLean. You can find me on problematic streaming platform Spotify at A Canadian in Eurovision. You can find me online on Twitter and Instagram at The Big Shabam. And finally, if you like what you've seen here and you want to help me out, feel free to subscribe. It really does help. And also, if you want to see me do something next, don't be afraid to tell me. Looking forward to hearing from you all soon, and you have a great day now.